Part 2. Every year, my best friend's enthusiasm for Leilani's birthday outshone even Carter's and mine. As for my daughter, since her leg had been broken, she had not once shown her face to me. Whenever Carter asked about her, my best friend would sneer, "Don't mention that worthless brat." Just thinking of her makes my blood boil. Because my best friend had deliberately kept her distance, it wasn't until Leilani reached her goal and was accepted into a prestigious university that I saw my daughter again. At Leilani's graduation celebration, my best friend entered the banquet hall with her limping daughter in tow. Without missing a beat, she pulled out a paternity test report she'd clearly prepared ahead of time and presented it to me in front of family and friends. Kinsley, recently, this brat has had all kinds of health problems. I took her to the hospital and guess what? Turns out she's not my daughter after all. There was a mix-up at the hospital when they gave us our babies. This brat is yours and Leilani is my biological daughter. We've been separated from our own children all these years. Now it's time to set things right and swap them back. As she said this, she somehow managed to squeeze out a few fake tears, gazing at Leilani with an expression of love and guilt as though she had been through endless suffering all these years. Her words rippled through the crowd, sparking a wave of disbelief. After all those years of raising such a brilliant student, they expect to just hand her over like it's nothing? Everyone knows how much Kinsley has sacrificed for Leilani. Her success in getting into such a prestigious university didn't just happen by chance. It's the result of Kinsley's relentless dedication. You can't simply erase all that love and effort. Exactly. Who could possibly let that go so easily? On one side stood a bright, promising young woman, a top university student carefully nurtured for 18 years. On the other, a frail, broken child, so thin and frail she could barely stand. It was clear who anyone would favor. Yet, as the room buzzed with whispers, I gave them a quiet, enigmatic smile and said, "All right. If there's been a mix-up, let's fix it and switch." The room fell into stunned silence. My best friend's eyes widened in shock, clearly unprepared for my immediate, unexpected response. Carter stared at me, disbelief written all over his face. "Kinsley, have you completely lost your mind? Based on Serenity's claim and a single, questionable paternity test, you're willing to just hand Leilani over?" My mother-in-law added, her voice tinged with concern, "Yes, Kinsley, this is too big a decision to make without a proper investigation." Faced with their doubts, I replied with quiet certainty, "Leilani is, without a doubt, her daughter. I saw it with my own eyes all those years ago. The babies were switched." My words hung in the air, leaving everyone in stunned silence. Carter was beside himself, panic overtaking his features. "That's impossible. You were in such a weakened state after the delivery that you nearly bled out. You said this child meant more to you than your own life. If you cared that much, how could you have just stood by and let her suffer? You're lying." I turned to Carter, my gaze unwavering, and spoke with quiet conviction. "When I gave birth, I saw a butterfly-shaped birthmark on our child's lower back. If you want proof, just check. It's there." At the mention of my words, my mother-in-law quickly lifted my daughter's shirt to check. The moment she saw the butterfly-shaped birthmark on the lower back, Carter's eyes went bloodshot with fury. Without a second thought, he stormed toward me and slapped me hard across the face. "Kinsley, are you even human? If you knew the truth all along, why didn't you tell us sooner? Why let our daughter suffer under Serenity all these years?" His rage was like wildfire, and the fury in his gaze felt like it could burn through me. Relatives joined in, their voices filled with condemnation. Is Kinsley out of her mind? This child is a Jones, her own flesh and blood. How could she watch her daughter suffer for all these years without lifting a finger? She's heartless. She knew the truth, yet stood by while her child's leg was broken, allowing her to endure a life worse than death. Carter, you need to divorce her immediately. A woman like this doesn't deserve you, let alone a place in the Jones family. The accusations came in a relentless tide, and every pair of eyes turned to me, their gazes thick with contempt and disgust. Even my timid, fragile daughter, Isla, locked eyes with me, her gaze filled with tears and screamed, "I hate you." Without another word, she turned and leaped from the window behind her. The sharp thud that echoed below sent a jolt of shock through everyone in the room. Tears blurred my vision, streaming down my face. It was over. Finally, everything had come to an end. Download NovelShort and search 255914 to read more.